Johnny Magic here at E-Charger Systems, Hline Conversions. Back on the Humvee, this is going to be step 4 of the ultimate Duramax conversion swap for the Humvee. So last step, step 3, we put the body on there and we talked about some of the things that you need to do. So we'll go back and talk about those. Body's on. This point you should have all your body bolts in, all 6 bolts, 3 on either side. Steering shaft mod, you definitely want to do that before we put the body on. I think that we spoke about that, but if we didn't, definitely before the body goes on, there's a steering shaft drop plate that you'll put on there to drop, modify the inside of the footwell there to get the steering shaft down into place. Comes in the kit, and then of course get your steering shaft hooked up. Hook up your power steering lines to the Hydro Boost. There's 3 lines on the vehicle. Of course, bolt your master cylinder back on there. You can go ahead and start placing some of your electrical. The ECU sets up here. It comes with the brackets. You can set it kind of wherever that you want up in this area. The TCM, I usually hang it over here, but if you want to bolt it here or wherever you want to do, you know, it's kind of the free reins of what we call first in rule. Whoever puts their stuff in first, everybody else can work around it. But anyways, there's no real specific place to do it. Some people prefer to bring them inside the vehicle, whatever. Normally, these are all watertight, by the way, so they can stay out there. They're designed for the elements, but you can definitely bring them inside if you want to, and you know, just have I guess, another better additional peace of mind. Intercooler pipe right here. So it's a well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 piece that comes for the left-hand side of this. There's a 2 to 2.5 coupler to a 90-degree aluminum, you know, mandrel bent, bead rolled, polished aluminum pipe into a 45 silicone boot, into a 45, and this one will come to you long because again there's that 1-inch error in the Hummer, and you know, however that and whoever or whatever, you never know, but some ever will always get you if we cut that side, cut it precision. So we leave the tails long. You can just cut them down to fit, but this is kind of what it'll look like going into there. The intercooler and the radiator cooling pack, step 3, I think we talked about a little bit, but you know, we've actually went ahead and bolted it in there. This is the aluminum radiator. These are the brackets. This is our actual prototype bracket right now. We just left it on here for show and tell, but this actually bolts to the radiator. Allows you to set the intercooler on top. Then there's these side brackets that go over and fasten down to clamp the intercooler in place, and you lock all that in. It's pretty self-explanatory. The intercooler needs to be up flush level with the top of the radiator because there's a coolant pressure tank that sets up here, and this coolant pressure tank is going to come to you like this, you know, and also it's going to have pressure tank brackets that come off of that. You know, and we leave those, we don't weld those on because you know, every Hummer's a little bit different again, so all the holes are adjustable, but you'll take and you'll rivet the bracket onto the top of the intercooler here. It's pretty simple how that sets. You want to get as level as you can. You'll want plenty of room for the fan. You know, it is a Hummer and people do some crazy stuff, and I'm one of those that like to do the craziest stuff I can with it, so everything moves, you know. Make sure you got some air clearance there. Let's see what else. I think that, okay, we have the turbo inlet tube, inlet pipe, turbo inlet coupler on here at this point in time. You just take off the original, if it's an LBZ or LMM, it's got this weird drop down push to connect intercooler pipe. Pop that off. You'll bolt this piece on here. There'll be a short piece of aluminum straight with two 2.5-inch blue couplers that'll make this connection for you on the vehicle. You can see the hood's on there. The hood rise is already on this vehicle. They've already installed it, but you'll get something like this in the kit. It's 2-inch by 1-inch, got some holes, comes with some longer bolts. You'll just put that in the front. That raises the whole entire hood 2 inches to clear all this cooling and give it, you know, a little bit more of a breather underneath that hood, so get some of that heat out from underneath the hood, because a lot of these, especially the Humvees, you know, coming in with the, you know, almost a closed scoop on it. You know, this scoop here has, you know, very, very, very poor airflow through it. Doesn't mean you need to change it. We kind of are changing it on the back side. of the vehicle. Of course, there is this ominous cutout here. Some people don't mind it, some people hate it. You know, you don't have to cut it out. If you want to take the whole EGR system off your engine and clock your intake down and stuff like that, you can do it like that without doing it. I kind of like it because, one, it saves a lot of time on taking half the top end of that motor apart, taking off the EGR system, which, you know, is probably illegal in some states, or probably all states, but so we just leave it alone. But secondly, it helps push some of the hot air out from underneath the hood. The scoop is open on the back side and stuff like that. Or if you want a fin louvered version of that, you could do it, you know, we could do it like that for you as well. But those are some of the things at this point in time in step 4 that you should be pretty much wrapping up. Fuel lines, we'll talk about the fuel lines and the electrical in the next step, you know, once we're pretty much at the point to where everything else is done. So that's pretty much going to wrap up step 4 of the conversion process at this time. The next steps will be, of course, the wiring and some of the final installation of the components before you go out and hit the road. Johnny Magic here at Hline Conversions, EM&J Enterprises. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the, of course, the Ultimate Hummer Duramax conversion. We'll see you.